So Arc Raiders have just released the information for the expedition that is upcoming, and people aren't really happy. So looking at the dev blog, they've announced that the expedition is going to be available from the 17th of December for 6 days. The first reward for expedition. You've just spent all your resources. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Patchwork Raider outfit. Getting a custom skin for going through the expedition. It will probably be different for every single expedition, so this is going to be a rare skin. This is the first expedition skin. It costs a lot of resources to go through this expedition, so it must be something really cool. We can see that someone has posted a screenshot of one of the skins from the Arc Raiders Server Slam, which was the beta test. In a world of dusk and sandstorms and arcs, you've got a character in a hoodie and a bike helmet and some patchwork denim shorts. I don't really think that's hitting for a lot of people. So this is speculation because they haven't actually shown a picture of the Patchwork Raider skin yet, but this is a skin that was in the beta test that is not currently in the game. It fits the bill. So we're going to go into skill points in a moment, but the next notable reward is the plus 12 stash space. Now the current maximum stash space available is 280. You get plus 24 per upgrade. Plus 12 isn't really a lot, all things considered. It doesn't feel like something that you've grinded hard for. And I understand that you're potentially going to be able to stack these over and over again with every single expedition. And if the expedition is every 1 month to 2 months, then, you know, you're going to be able to stack quite a lot there. The thing is, it takes a lot of resources to do these expeditions. And people right now are wondering, why would they delete all their top tier gear and have utter gear fear at the end of the cycle, just so they can get plus 12 stash space and a couple of skill points? It's kind of lackluster, and it doesn't really warrant the amount that you need to put into it to get it. We're not going to talk about these temporary buffs because these are completely negligible. They are not even worth talking about. They're actually terrible. I don't know why they've even added these. Skill points is probably the biggest reason why you would want to go through the expedition right now. When the game released, a lot of people weren't sure what the best skill tree was. They put points into things that they don't really want. You can't put points into every single tree, so you have to be intentional with where you do put your points. So you get 1 skill point per level up. The level cap is 75, so you only get 75 skill points to spend. Now, if you want to reach one of these final perks, the big perks at the very end of each skill tree, you need to have put at least 36 skill points into that skill tree. You can see here I've put 26 skill points in, so even though I'm right next to this on the skill tree, I can't access this yet. So if I really want this security breach, or if I really want this minesweeper, then I need to have put 36 points in. Now that only gives you the option to get final perks from 2 skill trees. You can't get it from conditioning, mobility, and survival. So you have to be intentional with where you put your skill points. People want to go through the expedition to reset their skill tree so they can be intentional with how they place their skill points. They want more skill points so they can have more perks. The problem is, you're only getting 5 points maximum from going through this expedition. And it's not easy to get these points. The biggest point of contention is how people are getting these points. You get 1 point per million's worth of gear. 1 million. The problem with this is incentivizing people to just go in with free loadouts instead of their custom gear, because they want to squeeze every single penny they can to get as many skill points as possible, because 5 million coins is a ridiculous amount of money. So they have this section here. Why are we doing it like this? Progression wipes are a notoriously difficult thing to balance in online multiplayer games. So this is true. So I've mained extraction shooters for the past 6 years. The point of an extraction shooter is to start off with no gear and climb your way to the top. You climb your way up getting better gear. When you pick up a piece of better gear in raid, oh my god, the dopamine you get is insane. You take that gear into the next raid and now you have a better chance at combat. Increasing the quality of your gear is the entire point of extraction shooters. That's what makes extracting worth it. The problem is, when people grind the game and their entire inventory is full of top tier gear, in other extraction shooters like Tarkov, it gets to a point where low level players and new players can't easily integrate into the wipe cycle. They're going into lobbies with people who have top tier gear sets. Meanwhile, they're on the lowest level gear set. Hence why wipes were introduced into Tarkov. The free loadout in this game has weapons that are so well balanced, you can go up against people with top tier gear. But if you get a Stitcher 1 or a Pharaoh 1, you know, even a Kettle 1, you're gonna have a decent time. You can really win with those free loadouts. You can snowball, you can zero to hero. If you play the weapon right, you can use the weapon to win a fight. Except the Rattler. That Rattler needs to be buffed immediately. Let's be real. That thing is terrible. So regarding the point of new players having trouble entering into the wipe, that point really subsides. The next big problem is people get bored. These people who absolutely love the game, they get bored of having everything. They get bored of winning every single raid. They need some kind of progression. I think a lot of people right now are upset because they think this is the end game. This is not the end game. You know, it's not like an MMO where you get the gear set and now you can go do something completely different. It's the same game the whole way through. That's how extraction shooters are. But a lot of people are going to get bored, and some people will leave. That's just natural with games like this, after they've grinded and they've got all the best gear. The Expedition is there for people like this, but to keep these people engaged, you can't make them sink a ridiculous amount of resources into a project for Expedition and then give them crumbs. This is really lackluster. I understand they kind of want it to be lackluster. They don't want it to be this big thing that every other player thinks they're missing out on by not doing it. And I think that's the biggest reason why it is lackluster. They don't want the more casual people to freak out. You're not missing out on content if you don't grind the game 24/7. You're still playing the same game as everyone else. Just be thankful that Arc Raiders isn't like Arena Breakout Infinite, where people are just running around with HKs and red ammo right now. There is no wipe cycle in Arena Breakout Infinite. There is insane inflation on the player market. Again, player market, which just exacerbates the inflation even more. If it did become an issue where people had gear that was just way better than free loadouts and new player loadouts, then hopefully they would not add something like gear-based matchmaking, because gear-based matchmaking is the death of every extraction shooter. If you look at Dark and Darker, if you look at the Cycle Frontier, such a sad ending. But the player base got split due to gear score, which made people just run lower level gear anyway, so they could actually get in lobbies with players. I don't think Arc Raiders is going to have that issue, but we don't know yet. The biggest issue that brought wipes into existence in the extraction shooter genre, as the new players fail to be able to integrate against the high level players with the high level gear, the player base tends to dip. As the player base dips, new players stop bothering, and the high level players, they also pull away and they wait for a wipe, because people associate in their head extraction shooters with wipes with new beginning. So yeah, food for thought. I don't think the Expedition is worth it. You can do it if you've been grinding the game non-stop. These streamers are going to go for it. They're going to have content. I don't think the current rewards are worth really. But yeah, if you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, let me know why. And subscribe if you feel like it. Don't if you don't. And have a good day. Bye bye.